All right. I need to find a way to fade out that music. Even when I had a high school podcast, we had the music fading out. We had a whole mixer board. I actually had a whole co host sit on this side of me or across the table, and they would just control the levels. But I'm a one man show now, so I'm not doing that. Let me just move this out of the way. All right, it's 10:06. I'm a little bit late, I know. Sorry about that. Let me just adjust everything here. So, it's been a while since I've streamed, I know. And it would be understandable if I said the reason I wasn't streaming was because of the hurricane. And that's partially correct. Now, luckily, hold on one second. Get it arranged here. Hello to everyone on X. Thank you for watching. Follow me on X for the Millennial. If you're watching on YouTube, or even if you're not watching on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Florida Millennial. I try and go live every night, but I don't end up going live every night. And I have an explanation. I haven't gone live since I think Wednesday night. Of course, the Hurricane Helene, rolled in near to Florida on Thursday night, I believe it was. Wednesday night, it was windy, and we had some weather Wednesday night. And luckily, where I am, I don't want to give away my location, but I probably will just by what I'm about to tell you. It kind of missed us. So we escaped, thank God, without any damage, but we were the blessed and lucky ones because there were a lot of people who did not, and unfortunately, lots of damage on the Panhandle, lots of damage on other parts of Florida. I know Perry was a big one. Perry got hammered. And then Georgia having a hard time. Carolinas, even all the way up to Tennessee, I think there was a lot of damage. So luckily where I am here in Florida, nothing really doing. We had some high winds, some rain, but that's about it. No real damage here or anything like that. But yeah, so we escaped it. We escaped it. Now apparently there's another one brewing. Another, as they call it, a disturbance brewing. So here's hoping that isn't going to cause too much damage. But so I didn't stream on Thursday night because of the hurricane. Now I am glad to tell you it wasn't because I had to leave. Mind you, the area I am living in, anything over a category 2 and I have to leave. So if it had been taking dead aim at us, we would have had to leave. But it wasn't, luckily. Thursday night, I did not stream, not because I was ducking for cover or I was escaping or bracing. I was, however, distracted by the hurricane. I have a very, I don't know if you would call it an autist mind, but once I get focused on something, like once I get interested in something, it's over. I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop researching it. So, needless to say, it was a big mistake for me. By the way, how's the orange and the navy? I don't even know if orange and navy go together, but because remember, I've been telling you, I want to dress nice for the show. I don't want to go on another rant about why. I don't want to start talking about people coming to church in shorts, which I did see on Sunday. Please do not go on a rant, Tyler. Do not rant about it. There was someone in shorts on Sunday. My brain's going in all different directions, as you can see. So it was a mistake for me on Thursday night to start trying to find out where the storm was going, what category it was, what category it was going to develop into. It all started as an innocent expedition online, me trying to find out just some info about the storm, What should we expect? Where I'm living and in the rest of the state, what should I expect? And so I started on Google, of course. Weather Network. And I didn't stop there. It was a journey that led me to a YouTube live stream called Max Velocity. Now, there were a few other ones I was watching too, and they were fine. But I stumbled upon Max Velocity. I'm pretty sure that's his YouTube. If you go, it's called Max Velocity. And this guy was tracking this storm. And I was like instantly hooked. I was like, I could not stop watching this hurricane live stream channel. Guy has a great voice too. He has like a real radio voice, like deep voice, clear voice. I like to think my voice is kind of deep. I like to think my voice isn't too bad, right? My voice is pretty good. It's not too high pitched. If you have a high pitched voice, you can't do live streaming. It's just over for you. But luckily, I was blessed with a somewhat deep voice. Anyways, Max Velocity has the perfect voice. You could listen to this guy for ages, okay? He's like probably way younger than me. He looks like he's like 23 years old. But he's tracking the storm and he's got one window open. I know you guys probably want to hear about politics or the VP debate. I'll get to it. But this guy's got one window open, a window on his computer. I don't mean the window, to the storm. Oh, that might be an interesting live stream. Here in Florida, you just have like the window open. Maybe I'll crack that window and I'll do the stream over there and we can track the hurricane. You can hear what's going on behind me. But no, this guy's got he's got one window tracking the storm, okay, with radar, satellite or whatever. And then he's got another window open and he's got chasers. He's got storm chasers. And these guys were in Perry, I think it was Perry, Florida, right? And they were there and they were just like standing in the middle of it. Just letting the winds, the 100 and whatever mile an hour winds, just completely almost blast them off their feet. And then, you start to see the power surges, the lights are going. It's crazy. It's like, this is incredible entertainment. Mind you, it's causing a lot of destruction. So I understand it's not really entertainment. Don't misunderstand. But it's very interesting to watch. And he would keep updating us on like recons. So I'm learning a lot of the lingo. They have planes that fly into the hurricanes. And if I understand correctly, if Max Velocity has taught me well enough, they fly in and they get the pressure. They detect what the pressure is. So that's interesting. So that you keep getting these recon reports. So he's updating us on that. He's got a thing on his channel where he knows where the tornadoes are. There's tornadoes going off everywhere in the state and in Georgia and in the Carolinas. He's got a thing like an alert, like tornado detected. I'm like, this is the greatest. Why does anybody watch the Weather Network? This is all you need. This is the greatest. And he had I don't know, he had a lot of people. He had like 90,000 people or something watching him at one point. I think it was close to 100,000 people. People are super chatting left and right. Amazing, incredible stream. I mean, this guy, I highly recommend it, especially to people who live here in Florida or wherever, Georgia, Carolinas, into the Gulf Coast, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, because this guy, as I say, forget about Weather Network, Weather Channel, whatever. No. These guys, it's updates. They go to commercial. They give you an update every hour. This guy streamed. I think he streamed for like 8 hours straight. And then I woke up in the morning and he's streaming again. So great channel. I was totally sucked in. I could not stop watching it. I was getting in trouble with my girlfriend because I'm sitting there on the couch. I'm not even talking to her. I'm just looking at this guy talking about a hurricane. So anyways, I did not stream on Thursday, not because I had to leave or because the roof was blowing off or because there was flooding or whatever. Thank God we had none of that here. But prayers to those who did. prayers to those who did, because it was it's destructive. And even there's people like stuck on the mountains, like in the Appalachian Mountains. There's like people stuck. It's crazy. It's horrible. So, and apparently there's another one coming. We'll see what comes of that. But anyways, that's why I didn't stream on Thursday, Friday, because I couldn't stop watching Max Velocity. I'm gonna have to go to rehab now for Max Velocity channel. I can't stop watching. Anyways. So supposedly this next storm is supposed to arrive next week, supposedly. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, kudos to Max Velocity. Thanks for the entertainment, bro. Great entertainment. Great channel. Highly recommend it. I think he's on X too. You can go and follow him on X, Max Velocity. Tell him Florida Millennial sent you. So maybe I'll try and get him on the stream. Say, can I interview you for 10 minutes? Just ask you how you did it. Because honestly, I'm also interested in how he built this stream. Because sometimes I think to myself, it's tough with politics because you don't always have stuff going on, right? Some nights I come on here and it's like, what am I going to talk about? If there isn't a debate, if there isn't an election going on, it's really tough. And luckily, we're in that period right now, so I'm getting good traffic and good subscription numbers and all that. But I'd love to have him on just to see how he built it, because I went back to his oldest video, and it's just him giving a weather report, like just a normal weather report. Guy's got I don't even know how many subscribers he's got now. He's got hundreds of thousands of subs. It's crazy. So I usually just say follow me, follow Florida Millennial. Follow me and then go follow Max Velocity, especially if you live in hurricane zones where he'll give you updates. You don't even need to worry about cable anymore. Forget about it. Forget about the networks. Forget about all that. It's kind of encouraging too, because it got me thinking. It got me thinking about just how media is being transformed. I really believe that we are on the cusp of a total transformation in how media is consumed. We're not quite at that point where people don't even go and watch the networks anymore. I think it's more of a generational thing. Most people over the age of 50 still rely on TV networks for the information they're getting. Turn on the news, right? Flip on the news. But it's getting to the point where you have better information, you have quicker information, and you have more knowledge. These guys know what they're talking about. And they don't even need to be a meteorologist. These guys just interested in it. They know somehow. I don't know. We'll have to bring Max Velocity on, a little collaboration between the politics and the weather. But so anyways, that's what I was up to Thursday, Friday. I don't usually stream Saturday or Sunday. I was watching, as I usually do on Saturday afternoon. My ritual is that I watch Woodstown with Keith Woods and Paul Town, or as Keith Woods calls him, Paul Town. So I watch that on Saturday, then Sunday church and whatever. So I don't usually stream on the weekend. So it is Monday, right? Why am I forgetting what day it is? It's Monday, correct? Yeah, it's Monday. Okay, so good. I didn't miss a day this week already. All right, so that's just a little update of where I was and little talk about Max Velocity. So VP debate is tomorrow night. And I wish I had an answer as to whether I'm going to stream it or not. What I might do is stream it on X. I might stream it on X because I don't think X is so strict about the copyright stuff. I really don't want to be risking my channel to stream this. Now, as you know, I streamed both conventions. And one convention, I was afraid they were going to get me because they're always playing music, of course, Tim Walz comes out and it's like, can't stop thinking about tomorrow or whatever. It wasn't that, but it was something like that. And of course, they hear that in the background, and then it's like, your channel gets dinged. So, uh, so I don't know. I have to look into that. And honestly, I don't even know if I want to stream it. Like, is there going to be anything exciting to watch? Like, what's the point? Tim Walz and JD Vance, seriously? So, we'll see if I stream it. I'm going to watch it anyway. But I have to be honest with you, I'm not looking forward to watching it. I don't want to watch it. Because to be completely honest, which I always love to do, I'm always honest here. I cannot hold back the way I really feel. I don't find either of them very entertaining, appealing, interesting. Just me. I read JD Vance's book long time ago. Great book, Hillbilly Elegy. He has a great story. He has a great life. Very respectable life. He brought himself out of poverty, basically, in a pretty bad situation when he was younger. And now he's like very wealthy on the vice presidential ticket. So I have huge respect for JD Vance and what he has accomplished in his life. However, watching him on the trail has been a little bit underwhelming. A little bit underwhelming. I watch him. He's kind of awkward. No charisma. And then you look at Tim Walz, and he's like even worse. The guy's like a complete freak. You look at the way he acts, at least. He's probably a nice guy. Again, nothing personal, but the guy acts like a freak, okay? He acts like a complete freak. I saw him at the Michigan game. He's going crazy. He's hugging the mascot. It's just too much. So we'll see. I'm going to watch it just because I'm interested in politics, but I'm not looking forward to it like I was looking forward to the Trump-Kamala one. And I don't think we're going to get another presidential debate. So this might be the last one of the cycle. So that's why I'm really tempted to stream it. But a lot of people have been asking me, like, what does JD Vance have to do to win? Or like, what should his strategy be? And I started thinking about it because, by the way, they have already tried to set the expectations game. They're saying he's nervous. I saw a thing yesterday. Tim Walz is very nervous before the VP debate. He's very nervous. First of all, if he's actually nervous, do we really think they would be releasing that, saying like, "Oh, he's nervous"? Like a press release from the Harris campaign, our vice presidential candidate is feeling very nervous before Tuesday's debate. No. The reason that they are it is from the campaign. Sorry about that. The reason that, what was I saying? The reason that they released this is to set the expectations low, so that Tim Walz, no matter how he does, hits it out of the park. And I don't know. I haven't really heard leaks from the Trump campaign. I haven't really heard them saying anything about it. But here's what I will say is the expectations are probably high just because JD Vance is Ivy League educated, successful in business. He does pretty well during the interviews. My favorite interview so far was when he said to Dana Bash, he goes, "Dana, are you interested in asking me questions, or do you just want to keep interrupting me? Because if you want to just keep interrupting me, it's just as well I leave, because there's no point in doing this." And Dana Bash is like this. Shocked, deer in the headlights. No one's ever talked to her like that, except for Trump and John King when they were going through their divorce, I'm sure. But, no, I'm just kidding. So I'm hoping that JD Vance has a little bit of that in him. Now, I would prefer, here's my advice. If people would ask me, so what would you tell JD Vance going into this debate? My main piece of advice is if you can come out of this debate with no news, no knockout punch for Walz, no, honestly, not even a knockout punch for Vance. Just have a good debate. No unforced errors. Don't talk about cats and dogs eating each other, even though that was hilarious. Or getting eaten, I should say. And just go into it and come out of it unscathed. Make it a ho-hum debate. Because I think personally, the less we're talking about JD Vance for Trump, the better. He's not really an asset for Trump. He's not so much a liability, maybe a little bit. But just go in, be smart like you are, be calm. One of his advantages is JD Vance can really hit you with zingers while also kind of looking like he's just not fazed by anything. Very calm, cool, and collected demeanor. Very good. Kind of similar to how Pence was when he first ran with Trump. So that's what I would say. Just try and come out of it with no big news, no negative news, no takeaways. Interesting debate. Ho hum. Back to the campaign trail. That's my advice to him. That's what I think would be the best outcome for him. So that's that. We'll see if I can stream it. It might be interesting. Maybe I'll stream it on X only. I don't know what X's rules are like. So, but I will tell you this: I've been hit with copyright stuff from YouTube before, but not X. So I don't think X is as tough, shall we say? Okay, all right. What else? Let's go to the Poly Market odds like we do all the time. Let's go. Let's do it. We haven't checked up on the polls in a while. So let's see where we're at here. Whoops, why is it doing that? Okay, 50-49, basically a tie. Not much movement from where we were before. I think last time we checked, it was Trump 48, Harris 51. She's dropped a little bit. There's been a lot of good polling for Trump. Trump's had a very good couple weeks here. Pennsylvania's looking good. Georgia looking good. Arizona looking good. Nevada looking better. North Carolina's tight. North Carolina's kind of shocked me. It's kind of like been a much tighter state than I anticipated. So we'll keep an eye on that. But I believe that it's Georgia, North Carolina, Arizona, and Pennsylvania. And if Michigan comes along and Wisconsin comes along, that's great. But that's what Trump should really be aiming for. Let's check out Real Clear Politics. I've been moving away from Nate Silver, not because he has the odds against Trump, but just because I'll keep looking at Nate Silver, but I've been looking at Real Clear Politics more lately. North Carolina, here we go. 2 recent polls of Trump 49, Harris 47. I don't know if you can see this. Wait a second. Can you see? I don't know why it does this all the time, but so North Carolina, Trump 49, Harris 47. Good poll for Trump from East Carolina U. Trafalgar, Trump 48, Harris 45. Keep in mind, Trafalgar tends to give Trump a little bit of an edge, usually. Pennsylvania, Trump 41, Harris, Trump 51, Harris 48. Great poll for Trump for 2 reasons. One, obviously, he's leading by 3 points. But the second one is he's over 50. Over 50%. Very encouraging for him. Atlas Intel had great polling in 2016, I believe. 2020, I'm not too sure about. I might need to check up on it, but I'm pretty sure they had really good polling. So we'll see. Michigan, Harris 48, Trump 47. Great poll for Trump. Again, the 2-point rule. If he's within a point or two, he's good and can win. This one's got Trump up. Atlas has Trump up by 3. Again, or 4, I should say. These are all great polls for Trump. So the race is really tightening up. You get national polls that are all over the place. So it's really tough. I tend not to look at national polls other than to try and get a sense of where the trend line is. But I think if I had to say, since the last time we were together, since the last time we spoke, it's pretty clear that Trump has really solidified his Georgia, Arizona base. I think it's becoming clearer and clearer now that Arizona, especially, possibly Georgia, and possibly North Carolina, are moving toward Trump. He's starting to take the lead in them as opposed to being within one or within two or tied. He's starting to show a lead there. And he's starting just recently to show a lead in Pennsylvania. This is not really reflected in Nate Silver's odds and chances yet. I don't know what goes on with that model. I have no idea, but it's really fluctuated. Like he had Trump with a 60% chance. Now I think he has Trump at like 42 or 43 or something like that. Huge fluctuations. He has other things built in, like convention stuff, and the convention's over now. And Harris didn't get a bounce, so that's why Trump was up in the chances, and now Trump's down. It's really all over the place. So I'm tending to stick to the swing states. I have noticed in terms of the campaign Trump has been running, great to see him in Michigan tonight. Great to see him in these Rust Belt states. Great to see him today down in Valdosta or whatever it is. Hurricane relief. He looked like a president. He had the podium looking exactly like the presidential podium without the seal. He's got Franklin Graham behind him, who's looking every day. Franklin Graham looks more and more like Billy Graham. I guess he's getting to that age. But anyway, great optics. He's had a great few days. I pray that he's being protected well. And he's kind of doing more town hall stuff. He's got the working class message going. And I continue to say the reason why he's doing better in Pennsylvania is white men moving away from Harris. That's the reason. That's his bread and butter. He needs those voters, the white men. And we hear so much about Hispanics and African, and that's all great. But there is a bigger group he needs to be concerned about, the white working class male. I read an article today, and I'm not going to go through it because it's very academic and very, people be bored by it, but maybe I'll do a whole video on it some other time. But I only intend to stream for like an hour tonight. But the article is called The Missing White Voter or something like that. It was written in 2012 after the Romney loss. And basically what the article, I was reminded by it because today I was watching Rich Barris and Barnes talking, and they had brought up the article, and I thought, wow, it's been so long since I even thought of that article. But it really articulates a lot of the things I've been saying on these shows, on these streams, and regarding this election. In 2012, there was a whole post-mortem done about the Romney loss. And there seemed to be this conventional wisdom that the reason he lost was because he couldn't get his numbers to where they needed to be with Hispanics. And I think he got like very low number, 27 or something % of the Hispanic vote. Obama did very well with it. And they were saying, well, if he can get the Hispanic numbers up, he could have won Nevada, he could have won Florida, blah, 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 blah. But what they missed, and what this article talks about, is the missing white voter in 2012. What happened was, yes, the share of white voters of the electorate went down because Obama kept up his pace and even grew it a little bit with African Americans and minorities. So it kind of, because those numbers increased, that made the white percentage shrink. But the actual raw number of white voters also went down. If you go back and look at that election, the turnout was way down in that election. So what happened was, there were like 9 million, they calculated like 9 million white voters, likely voters, who didn't vote in 2012. They just sat it out. So they said, look, we don't like Obama. We don't like what's happening with the economy, but we're not voting for Mitt Romney. He's like this hedge fund guy, Bain Capital. No, I'm not voting for him. So they just sat out. And what happened was in 2016, they came back. Where were these white voters? They were in Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, to an extent. They were in these states where Romney lost to Obama, and that's how Trump flipped them. They were in rural areas. They weren't necessarily in the inner city or in the metros. They were in the rural areas. Trump ramped up his margin. He ran up the score in the rural areas, and that's what got him the win, the narrow win in all of these states. So the article, it's really interesting. It's crazy reading it because there's just no mention of Trump. Every political article you read now, Trump is in it. He's not in this one because it was written like right after the 2012 election. No one could have even conceived of Donald Trump running for president, never mind being president and running for re-election twice. But it's interesting because I do believe, and I keep trying to hammer this home, that is the reason why Trump was successful in 2016. And if he is to be successful in 2024 in November, we're like 30 something days away now. If he is to be successful, he needs to start doing well. And it looks like Pennsylvania, that's starting to happen. And it looks like a lot of these white working class voters are coming back home to Trump when they may have voted for Biden last time around. They may have sat out last time around. They may have been undecided earlier. And the polls are showing some movement there. That, coupled with Trump's unprecedented success with young African-American men and Hispanics. I mean, his numbers with Hispanics are incredible, even if they're not 50%, 45%, 47%, 48%. That has to have an effect in Arizona and Florida. Now, Florida, he's probably going to win anyway. North Carolina. So, in Georgia, maybe too. So, but his problem, honestly, right now is 65 plus voters. I mean, there's poll after poll showing him kind of down with that group. And obviously, I have reasons that I have for that. I believe there are reasons for that. I believe, and as I've talked about before, the boomers do consume a lot of mainstream news. They watch network news. They believe it. They take it in. They buy it hook, line, and sinker. They're watching CNN. They have no idea about new media. So they're really fed a lot of that. And that's why you're seeing a difference. The younger generation, young men are not watching CNN. They're not watching Fox News. They're on I don't even know, probably Barstool or something. But culturally, they're more in line with Trump and Trump's message and Trump's personality. And so that's why they're flooding to Trump. And the task is to get those voters to actually vote. That is the task. So let's do a little, let's play around a little bit with the map, shall we? Because I don't have a whole lot to share tonight, but let's just play around with the map. This isn't we're not going to do like an electoral college prediction right now or anything, but we're just going to play around with it a little bit and see where we stand. So this is like the CNN map here. Let me just see what I can do for you here. No, okay, so here's the way I see it right now, honestly. Let's put Michigan and Wisconsin lean blue, and let's put Pennsylvania lean red. Let's put North Carolina lean red. Let's put Georgia lean red. Oops. And let's put Arizona lean red. Let's say Nevada, they can't quite get it, leans blue. So if this is how things are right now for Trump, then he's in very, very good shape. Let's give the Nebraska one to her. So 281 to 257. Okay. Now, North Carolina is becoming very tight. Like if she manages to swipe North Carolina, she's president, right? So if she keeps Nevada, that is. Now, what happens if Trump loses North Carolina but then wins Pennsylvania? Well, now still needs one more. So what if Michigan goes with it? Okay, Trump's president. So you can go back and forth with this stuff. But my thinking is around midnight on election night, it's probably going to look something like this. Probably. This is how I see the polling going right now. And I would not be surprised if this is the final map. Give me 1 second here. That's the final map. 281 for Trump. Pennsylvania is huge because if Trump can win Pennsylvania, it gives him so much breathing room. That's 19 electoral votes. And as I said before, let's take away Pennsylvania. Let's look at the ones where I think Trump is really strong and where he really has it. I honestly think Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina. Let's take away Georgia. I think Arizona and North Carolina, he's going to get back. So that leaves Georgia and Pennsylvania. I mean, he needs them. He needs both because if he wins Georgia and then loses Pennsylvania, well, that doesn't get him there. If he wins Pennsylvania and loses Georgia, that doesn't get him there. So he really either needs both of these or a collection. So if let's say this probably wouldn't happen. Let's say he loses Pennsylvania and North Carolina, but then he like somehow manages to win these two. That's kind of the only way he can get there. Now people are talking about Virginia. Obviously, winning Virginia would just be a complete game changer. I don't think he's going to do it. I think it's going to go blue. But for me, these are the big states here. Let's go to Build Your Own. I just want to see something. These are basically the states he needs to be campaigning in and focusing on, in my opinion, from here on out. Let's put Michigan on there because I feel like whenever you go to the Michigan market, you're kind of hitting Wisconsin too a little bit. You're kind of in that area. So you might as well just go to one or the other. You don't really need to go to both. This would be where I would go. I just focus literally on these 5 states, and maybe even if you start to feel more comfortable about Arizona, then you just take that off, take North Carolina off, take Michigan off, and just go back, forth between these two. Because what I see is Pennsylvania is a state that represents the Rust Belt, Michigan, Wisconsin. If you win Pennsylvania, you're probably going to win these two. Georgia is more representation of the Sun Belt. If you win Georgia, you're probably going to win North Carolina and Arizona. So it's not implausible that Trump ends up sweeping. So he goes and he wins Pennsylvania, he wins the whole Rust Belt, and then he wins the Sun Belt too. Again, this is a best case scenario for him, and I talked about this in my best case scenario map for him, which I did, and people are freaking out in the comments. Are saying this is not going to happen, blah blah blah. I'm like, this is a best case scenario, people. This is not. I'm not saying this is absolutely going to happen. Like, here, I'll give it away for you. I haven't even done the map yet, but best case scenario for Kamala looks something like this. I'm just going to put it together here for you. Like, Kamala has an incredible night. This is like not out of the question for her. 318. It's like the best possible outcome for her. 318. So I don't think that's going to happen either. As I say, I think Trump's going to win North Carolina. I think Trump's going to win Arizona. So right now, I think Trump's sitting at 246 if all keeps going well. And he just needs these two, baby. I mean, these two, and it's over. He's president again. So he's been doing well. He's had great polling lately. He had a great day today down in Valdosta, Georgia. He looked presidential down there. So, and then he came back and he went to Michigan with that working class message, that populist message. And so I think people are starting to get to him again. The good people, Lewandowski. And then yesterday or day before, when was that? When he was with Zelensky. Was that Friday, actually? I can't remember. Meeting with Zelensky, looked like a president. It looked like Trump was president. It's like he pulled it off perfectly. The optics have been great. Campaign's going very well. Very impressed. Tomorrow night, what needs to happen is Vance needs to just have a good night. Not a great night. Just come out of it with no big news, no big flubs, no big shootouts. Just go into it, come out, check in, check out, clock in, clock out, do the work. He's well-spoken. And supposedly Walz is nervous. Oh yeah, so we can set the low expectation game, so we can all say, "Wow, he did so well. We thought he was nervous. He didn't look nervous at all." Get ready for that, by the way. Get ready for the post game. The CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, whatever BC News post game. Walz completely surpassed expectations. We heard going into this debate he was nervous. He didn't look the least bit nervous. And now let's take a look at all the moments when JD Vance looked visibly shaken, visibly off his game, visibly radical. He wants to come for the cat ladies. He wants to come for your abortions. And that's what it's going to be like. So the least amount of people watch the post game shows, the better. Okay, I mean, I remember when the Trump Harris debate was on. I mean, it's natural, I know, and they know this, by the way. The networks know this. They do the debate, and then immediately it's Martha Raddatz and whoever else talking about who won and lost, and then of course you're still watching it. Say, Trump the volume, see what they're saying, and so they know they have great power over the electorate when they do that. When they can come on and say, here's who we think won, here's who we think lost. And you'll notice, by the way, that you can go on YouTube or wherever, and the paywall comes down for the debate, but the paywall stays down for the post game because they want you sticking around for that post game. They want to tell you who won and who lost. And it's going to be no shock to who they think who won and who lost. I mean, JD Vance could be perfect, and they're going to say he wants to come and kill. He's the one who wants to come and kill you and your cats. So that's what they'll say. I didn't say that. That's what they will say. For anyone who's trying to catch me here and report me, that won't work. So anyway, that's what I think he has to do. No news is good news. Tomorrow night, if we wake up Wednesday morning and there's no real big TikToks or anything, no real gotcha moments, because Trump is the king of that. And that's, by the way, why Harris wanted another debate. She desperately wants another debate. If you want to know where the polling truly is, look at the fact that Harris desperately wants another debate. Because she believes that the debate she was in, she was just getting her feet wet. She wants another one where she can really land some knockout punches, but Trump's not going to give it to her, and he shouldn't give it to her. Because they were hoping the takeaway from that debate was going to be a great line, a great, clever gotcha line that Kamala had, but there was none. The line of the debate was the cats and dogs, and people were making memes and videos out of it. And it wasn't even really that negative for Trump because it kind of turned into a joke. So honestly, it wasn't really a negative thing for him. There was no negative takeaway from that debate for really either of them. But Harris wanted that positive knockout punch. She wanted that takeaway where she could run with it and it could be viral moment. Didn't happen. And she wants it. She wants it badly. And Trump's just not going to give it to her. And very smart, because there's nothing to be gained for Trump in doing another one, especially when the moderators were so terrible and so unprofessional. So that's that. Thank you for watching on YouTube. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I believe the button is right. No, over. This is very difficult. Over there in the right corner. Little image of me, little icon of me there. Click that to subscribe. Click the bell notification so you know when I'm going live. And if you're watching on X, where there are many of you watching on X, please follow me on X, FLA Millennial, and on YouTube, Florida Millennial. Thank you for all who subscribed over the weekend. I know I didn't stream since the hurricane. I explained why. Max Velocity got me. Max Velocity couldn't stop watching his channel. I was hooked. You know, it's like 2 a.m. I'm thinking, what am I doing? I'm just watching Max Velocity talking about tornado warnings. But he's that good. He really is that good. So Everyone go and subscribe to Max Velocity. I cannot endorse him enough. So yeah, what I was saying is I didn't do streams, so I did post a few clips over the weekend. Some of them did well, some didn't. I was monitoring them. Lots of comments and such. I posted one about Olivia Nuzzi, which was a complete flop. And then I posted one about talking to boomers, like boomers who have Trump derangement syndrome. That did really well. So did the Fetterman one. Fetterman talking about Trump and his bond with Pennsylvania. It's really odd. Some of them do great, some of them don't. It's really, honestly, it's really hit or miss. Let's check out Silver Bulletin. I have not looked at Nate Silver stuff in a while. So let's see here. 49-46 nationally for Harris. So yeah, not much happening there. Not much change. They got Harris leading on the aggregate. Pennsylvania 48.8 to 47.6, basically by like 1 point. Michigan 2 points. North Carolina, Trump leads. Georgia, Trump leads. Arizona, Trump leads. Florida, Trump leads. Nevada, Trump down by a hair. So yeah, it's looking like he's closer in Wisconsin, which surprises me. So we'll see how he does in Wisconsin. These are polls that have just come out. Quinnipiac, national polls. Again, I don't like looking at the national polls, but Quinnipiac 48-48. New York Times Siena 47-47. Echelon 51-45 for Harris. Atlas Intel 51-48 for Trump. I mean, if Trump wins, if that's true and Trump wins the popular vote, I mean, man, that's going to be nuts. We're going to go back to this clip right now, me talking about Trump winning the popular vote, 51%, the greatest political comeback in American history. Let us speak it now into existence through the microphone and to the entire world through the system. All right, I'm losing my mind now. Let's do what we do at the end of every stream. I know this is just an hour stream tonight, folks, just an hour. Check it out if you're there, or S. Russell, any comments, please let me know in the live chat. I wish X had a live chat, but they don't. Maybe that can be. Can we get Elon? Would it kill Elon to have a live chat, please? All right. Let's see. Let's scroll through X a little bit. Pete Rose died, by the way. A lot of people are dying the last couple of days. We got Dikembe Mutombo died, NBA star. Pete Rose. So, here's Harry Enton talking about this. This is very interesting. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. It's gonna work. Let's see. Make me smaller and Harry Enton bigger. Harry Enton, my goodness gracious, Harry Enton is talking about union household support, as you see there. Bill Clinton, November 1992, plus 30 points with union households. Hillary Clinton, more than a decade later, 2 decades later, I should say, up by 12 points. Biden up by 19 points. Harris only 9 points. This is huge. This is huge, by the way. I just think we talk way too much about, and I don't mean this necessarily sounds, but we talk way too much about the African American vote, the Hispanic vote, even the women vote, when we should be paying attention to union households, white working class. There are so many voters, reliable voters in these groups and in the main states. I mean, it wasn't as big of a discussion back in 2012 because the election really wasn't hinging on that. The election back then hinged on Virginia and Florida and Nevada. That's where candidates went. North Carolina. But now candidates go to Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. These are places where there are a lot of union households and you need to win them. And look, the Democrats are just losing them. They are hemorrhaging hard these union households. They are shifting to Trump. They are shifting Republican, big league, as Trump would say. And it's really not good. It's not good for Democrats. So if Trump can actually cut that margin to 9 points, I mean, look, Hillary won it by 12 points and Trump won. Biden won it by 19 points and Biden won. So look, that's kind of where these states are going to be decided. So let's see what else I retweeted. Oh, here's Walz. I don't know if I want to show you this. Here he is with the mascot. Unbelievable. Whew, boy. So let's go scroll through, see what's going on. National general election, Harris versus Vance. Harris leads by 21 points. Mind you, it has the Trump Harris. They have Harris up by 7, which is not going to happen. I don't think, anyway. Tim Walz campaign events. So, yeah, you know what? I should go back and watch some JD Vance debate footage just so we know what we're in for, what's coming. Never really watched him debate before. Watched him do a lot of interviews, but okay, everyone go subscribe to Depressed Ginger. Love him too. Great content. I'm recommending a lot of people right now. See if there's anything else interesting. Oh, Trump has tweeted about Pete Rose. This is a good way to end the live stream. Donald J. Trump. Pete Rose played Major League Baseball for 24 seasons from 1963 to 1986 and had more hits, 4,256, than any other player by a wide margin. He gambled, but only on his own team winning, and paid a decades-long price. Get Pete Rose into the Baseball Hall of Fame. It's time, Trump says. I don't know. He's winning Ohio by 10 points. He's going for Ohio by 20 points. Okay. So rest in peace, Pete Rose. Rest in peace, Dikembe Mutombo, one of the greatest NBA players of all time. And then there was someone else I saw who died, an actor. I can't remember what the name was, but that'll do it for me tonight. I wanted to do only an hour. I wanted to make sure I live stream because I missed Thursday, Friday last week. I apologize dearly. But I was, as I say, max velocity. He had me hooked. I was watching that live stream like you would not. I was tracking that hurricane. I was waiting for the recon reports and the pressure systems. Man, I'm like, maybe I should just change. Maybe I should not talk about politics anymore. Do you want me to change this channel to, it's just going to be meteorology. I'm just going to follow storms. I'm going to track storms. I'm going to get a few friends, pay them to go straight into the eye wall, and we'll have a live feed. We'll have tornado warnings going off everywhere. That's what seems to get the viewers, honestly. But no, in all seriousness, prayers to all who were affected by Helene. And let us pray for their recovery, pray for their safety, get the power back on, everything else. And hopefully they can rebuild where they need to rebuild. And we're lots of damaging flooding and whatnot. So, and let's pray that we can stay safe from this new disturbance. See, that's the word. I learned that word by watching Max Velocity, a new disturbance. They haven't named it yet. I think it's going to be Kirk or Leslie or something. I'm not sure which one, but I guess I've just become like a weather fanatic now. But anyways, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Florida Millennial. If you're watching on YouTube right now, it's in your bottom right-hand corner of the screen. There's a little icon of me there. Click that to subscribe. Click the bell to know when I go live every night. Hopefully every night. Try to every night. I will try to live stream the debate tomorrow night on X. Let's put it that. Let's leave it at that. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. I'll have a recap. Don't worry. But best case scenario, I'm going to be doing a stream on that. And so we'll see how it goes tomorrow night for JD Vance versus Tim Walz. Should be exciting. Not as exciting as the Trump debate, but whatever. If you are watching on X, please follow me, FLA Millennial. You're already on my channel, so just click follow. And I will hopefully see everybody tomorrow night. Pretty soon we're going to have an outro. I need to create an outro. We have my lobby music, but we haven't created an outro yet. So I will see you tomorrow. Let's pray for President Trump. Let's pray they protect him every single day, and all our leaders, but particularly Trump, who is under so much scrutiny. Good night. God bless. See you tomorrow.